Hello there! Today we continue studying programming on Python in the QGIS 3. So today we'll talk about raster layers, so we understand how to change the symbology of raster layers, how to import raster layers in the QGIS project, and so on. Let's start. First of all, we need to add a raster layer to the project. Let's do it automatically using Python. Let's see where is the raster located. So here it is located in the same folder with the QGIS project. And let's try to import it. First of all, we need to create a new variable path to our TIFF. So we call this variable path TIFF and assign it to the string. A string will be a full path to our TIFF file. So let's see what it is. Here you can see that OSPathJoin concatenates the first path and the second. So here is the path of our QGIS project, our instance, and this is just the name of our TIFF file. And the result is the concatenated string. So we have a string path to our file, and now we need to import it into the QGIS. So to import the raster layer, we just use iface.addRasterLayer and two parameters. The first one is the path to our raster layer, to our TIFF file, and the second one is the future name in the table of contents of our layer. So let's run it, and here we are. So our raster layers has been imported successfully, and here is the name of this raster layer. So the same one as we typed in the previous row. Great, let's get this raster layer into the variable in the QGIS. Of course, we can just type iface.activeLayer as we did before, but let's see another method of doing it. So let's create a variable raster layer, and we can get all layers of the instance of the project, of the current QGIS project, by its name. So we just type QGIS project instance map layers by name. So and then we use the 0 index because this is a list. So we need to get the first one of this list. So for example, let's check that it is a list, raster layer list, press enter, and let's see what it is. So as we can see, this is a list of one QGIS raster layer. So that's why we need to get the first element of this list. So we type 0 index, and let's check what is our layer variable is. As we can see, this is an object of QGIS raster layer class, so it's okay. As we did before, we can see all methods and properties of this object using the dir function. So if we type dir layer, we get all methods and properties of raster layer. And on each property and on each method, we can get a help using Python. For example, let's type help layer.name. We can see that it is a method and no parameters except self, and so let's use it. Let's type layer.name, and here it is. This is the name of a layer. Let's see some other methods of this object. For example, renderer. So this will give us QGIS single band gray renderer object. So what we can do with the renderer of a raster layer? First of all, we can get its type. Here it is, single band gray. What it is? Let's see the properties of this layer. So go to symbology, and we see single band gray. So here it is. This is the value that we've got through the Python. Okay, let's change the opacity of a raster layer. To do this, we just use renderer set opacity and the value of the opacity from 0 to 1. So let's press enter, nothing happens. So as we know already, we need to repaint our map, repaint our layer. So we type 3D repaint, press enter, and as you can see, our raster layer become transparent. So let's check it. go to the transparency window, and here we can see the 50% of transparency as we've set before. Okay, let's change the opacity to the 1, repaint our map, and now let's change some symbology of raster layer. So let's take the value of the gradient of raster layer. This is 0. It means that in the symbology window you will have color gradient black to white, and now we want to change it. So we have the method setGradient, and as a parameter we will send 1. So let's press enter and repaint our map. And here you can see raster layer has changed, and we see white to black instead of black to white as it was before. So there are lots of other methods and properties of AirLayer renderer. Let's check it. Here they are. So we see some method that we have already used, for example setGradient or setOpacity, and there are lots of other methods. You can just get help on them, or you can read some documentation or tutorials. And for this video, that's it. We've tried a little bit working with rasters. We tried to import raster, to change its symbology, to change its opacity, and in the next videos we will try to change the symbology of a vector layer, and then we will go to some geoprocessing tools and then to Python expressions. So feel free to write comments under this video, to give us your feedback, and subscribe on this channel.